Doki Doki Literature Club is one of those games that have been praised for its interesting take on a dating simulator, along with other games like You and Me and Her on Class of 09, very debatably. Unlike these two games, however, Doki Doki Literature Club is significantly more popular and retains its popularity from overused jokes, but also a lot of other things like its memorable cast and a well-written antagonist, who actively controls the game, driven by her obsession for keeping the MC for herself in a digital world that is constantly moving. It's clear Team Salvato took their time to create Doki Doki Literature Club, unlike a certain dev, as it remains clear their multiple successes. Meaning the millions of downloads from Steam, the companies who collaborated with the inclusion of the Doki Literature Club, and the fame that came with it, leading to many playthroughs from YouTubers and eventually a port, from PC to PlayStation, Xbox, and eventually Nintendo Switch, broadening downloads into bought copies. Just a few months ago, Doki Doki Literature Club Plus, an additional game released in 2021 with more interaction between the girls, had new art created for its physical copy by the game's artist Satchely or Satchely. These are exclusive for the Nintendo Switch and were originally obtainable through the Serenity Forge booth at the PAX West convention this year before reaching Serenity Forge's online website, along with other collectible items like a Monika standee, various keychains, and many more smaller accessories as shown in this poster. Something that caught fans' eyes were the new game covers, being particularly different from the usual ones seen when looking at Doki Doki Plus from generic merchants, featuring each girl rather than just Monika. The convention-exclusive game packaging included a centered picture of each member of the Literature Club holding the game's logo, going from left to right in the order of Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and Monika. When turned around, the game packaging including the other three girls only showed a message presented a few seconds after opening the game on PC, which reads, "This game is not suitable for children or those who are easily disturbed." The backside of the cover also shows the behind perspectives of the girls, unlike Monika's, which instead shows the message along with a backside similar to other games, featuring some bullet points about the game, a short blurb, and in-game visuals. Reminding the player that unlike the other girls, Monika is well aware she's in a game and has nothing behind herself that would be important to the lore of the game. Sayori, Natsuki, and Yuri, not having any information regarding the game on their covers, can represent their unknowingness to their situation and how they are tied to the game, making them appear as flat characters rather than dynamic ones, as there's nothing else without interaction from MC. When placed in line with the ideal positions, each game cover creates a continuing picture of each girl. However, if you turn the first three covers around and disregard that Monika's copy has a backside, we can come to the realization that Monika's front game cover follows the others in either direction, front and back. And in both of these ways, Monika is glaring at the holder, representing how Monika is always watching and how she's the only one aware that MC on the other side is a real person. This can also represent how Monika is the only one that has control over the game's code and in literal terms, betrays the other girls or NPCs to achieve her ultimate goal. When turned around, the left-to-right order changes to Yuri, Natsuki, Sayori, and then Monika. Her uniqueness as a character is something that's implied but heavily expanded upon in the game because of her appearance. Being the only one with a natural hair and eye color as well as sheer black socks and pink shoes, compared to the others with unnatural features, white socks, and blue shoes. Throughout the game, from a surface level, she also appears to be the character with the most composure because of her self-awareness. Despite her struggles of loneliness and insanity when she did find out she was coded in the game, Monika's poems record her observations and insights as she processes this information. In reference to Hole in the Wall, Monika's poem shown to the MC on the second day, she's actively finding out about her predicament. Stanza 16 to 18 quote, "I realize now that I wasn't looking in, I was looking out, and he on the other side was looking in." This poem in particular may relate to the new covers when looking at each girl and where their eyes are placed. Monika is glaring straight at the screen in either direction, while the other girls have their focus slightly beside or above from the outside perspective, lightly foreshadowing that the other club members aren't aware that they're in a game. Throughout the main game and Plus, Monika consistently stays in a forward-only bodily position, according to her sprites because she's the only one who knows the player is real. And while I wouldn't want to pull any hair with my reference to Hole in the Wall and its connection to their gaze, as this section was meant to stay brief, it's interesting to notice the blue colors in each of the girls' eyes, which could also be interpreted as a screen. This is a very, very minor detail, however. And this is most likely just a stylistic choice, as Satchely has a very unique taste when it comes to rendering her artwork. The position Monika holds herself in on the convention-exclusive packaging is slightly different, yet presents the same sentiment, meaning this also applies to the speech we can find when decoding Monika's character file, which is quite lengthy, but it captures the idea of Monika speaking to the player and reflecting on her wrongs. This can be found by opening up the PNG within the file and then decoding it to find its content. It is a bit of a tedious process, according to the source I'm using, so I really hope I conveyed this information correctly. To paraphrase, Monika tells the player to go back in time, which is a forced event at the end of your first run of Doki Doki Literature Club, to change everything and make it a future so the other club members could avoid their fate. Doki Doki Literature Club is a great game. From its visuals to the effort put in, creating a fourth-wall narrative-breaking story of curiosity to the outside, love, and ultimately acceptance. While I do think that's pretty stupid to spend so much money on a collector's item that's 4 copies of the same game, I appreciate the novelty, as well as the fact that the artist placed various Easter eggs and successfully made an item that people would even consider buying twice, heavy on scalpers. I think it's really nice because DDLC is a game that can up a lot of interesting content released about it, especially when it involves each girl as opposed to Monika only. I can honestly see why so many DDLC fans were excited for the new releases of the new physical editions, as it was to take an opportunity to make something quality and truly worth analyzing. And while there isn't any new content in Doki Doki Plus to go over, the enthusiasm for the new packaging is reasonable, and brings homage to the fact that it's a great game. While I'm pretty sure scalpers are gonna sell out like every restock of these, they're really cool and prove to be a great marketing strategy for Serenity Forge. Not even on the surface level, but on a deep level with deep thought. Nobody really pays attention to how easy it is for gaming companies to release merchandise without thought, often making it poorly made or considered slop, which especially nowadays can really mess up your reputation as a developer or an artist depending on your approach to releasing new content, artwork, etc. Also seen with the popularity of generative AI, which makes producing slop like 10 times easier. However, it is easier to identify off the spot. And in conclusion, I truly believe it's the simplification of producing content that makes content created with time and dedication worth more than it ever has been. Thank you for watching. I'd like to apologize for the time that might have seemed like my hiatus these past few months, but please know that there are things to be expected in the future. Speaking of, I'm in a Discord server, so please see my latest post to get the link for that.